Well, it's a good thing the railing's there. Surely with all the head rocking, he'd roll down the stairs. Here's your spooky spot on the Royal Bobbles John Carpenter's Halloween, Michael Myers' Bobblehead. Leaning over the stair railing, Michael's presence is both haunting and nostalgic. At his feet lies a chilling nod to the film, the ghost sheet with Bob's glasses, a grim reminder of one of his infamous kills, adding an extra layer of authenticity and a homage to one of the most unforgettable scenes of the original Halloween film. The ideal collectible for Halloween enthusiasts, classic horror movie collectors, and bobblehead aficionados. This Michael Myers bobblehead captures the essence of the horror genre. Display it proudly to this commemorative film that defined horror. See anything you like? See yourself maybe getting your hands on the Royal Bobbles Michael Myers with railing and adding it to your collection? The good news is it's available right now. The good news also, it's available at Royal Bobbles shop for $31.95. Speaking of Royal Bobbles, I'd like to thank the team there that provided this sample we could have a look at. Michael Myers with railing, and I'll be bringing into many other faces of Michael Myers in a moment. But the one with the railing is going to stand at 8 inches exactly. This bobbling version of Michael is 20 centimeters tall. Is it him? It's really kind of hard to say because we've gotten 3 stellar Michael Myers releases from Royal Bobbles. One with a bush, one with a sheet, and now with a railing. From the head sculpt standpoint, I think like this one's a little bit more closer to the one we got with the bush. The one when we looked at the sheet seems like it's a slightly smaller head, a little wider on the sides. But this one and this one actually have not only just the mask in common, but both of them are actually wielding knives. Whoa, being joined by the spooky candle. Also being joined inside the box along with the bobblehead of Michael Myers, you get yourself a slip. This slip is just to advertise some of the other things that you can get at Royal Bobbles. If you like Michael Myers, you're fine. You'll want to continue the trend of collecting horror bobbleheads. Well, they also have Pennywise the Clown. They have Ghostface. They even have Slimer. If you like something a little bit more realistically scary, they also have Donald Trump, Boris Johnson, and Joe Biden. So there's some other options available as well. More at www.royalbobbles.com. Let's move the slip off to the side here, picking up Michael Myers. One of the things I really like about this release of him is that there's several nods to the film. Obviously, the fact that he's standing on top of the railing. He's got, of course, the bloody knife in his hand. You can see it's already got caked blood. Ooh, don't want to add any unnecessary additional blood to that. But you can see some nice blood caked on the blade of Michael Myers. The thing I also really like about this, though, is if you look behind the railing, you can see that not only there's Bob's sheet, but his glasses as well. That's a really nice little touch. I had to be really careful because when I was taking this out of its tray, there was also a secondary piece of styrofoam. I'm just bringing in the styrofoam right now, and it was tucked in there. When I was trying to pull this out, it was actually pulling against the lens of the glasses, so I wanted to be careful. And I would even say this as well to you. If you're looking to get this bobblehead for yourself, maybe finding it's easier to lift the styrofoam. I just dropped it. Lift the styrofoam up first before you start to pull it out, because again, it's going to catch against Bob's glasses. See anything you like? Bob certainly won't be able to see anything. He's not going to have his glasses. Oh, right. And he's also dead as well. Of course, we got the sheets there. They're nicely colored. They're a little bit different of a shade of white than the railings in front of it. And also as well, instead of actually doing a translucent lens, they decided instead to paint it white. I don't really feel like, especially for this being resin, doing this in a translucent probably wouldn't have worked as well. I can understand why they would have decided to settle on white instead. Of course, Michael Myers is standing on top of a floor. The thing I like, though, is that they also painted around the floor, so everything around this looks finished. On the bottom of the bobblehead, if I turn this around, you've got yourself 4 rubberized feet in the adjacent corners, Royal Bobbles front and center. Also, as well, there's a QR code. You want to scan the QR code? By all means, go ahead and do that. Candle can't really scan a QR code because it doesn't really have hands. It has spiritual hands, but it's just a complicated matter. It's just too much to kind of get into right now. So again, you got some rubberized feet. Michael Myers, though, on top there, has his blue coveralls. I know some would say it's probably more of a spruce green, but it seems just more the trend that when you do Michael Myers collectibles, most of the time companies just end up going with blue. I think blue is fine. I don't want to nickel and dime what colors his coveralls should really be. Blue works perfectly fine. The coveralls are nicely painted. It looks like they probably started with a darker color and then they brushed on top of it the blue. Of course, he does have his now arm bent. The other Michael Myers, funny though enough, have all generally had straight arms. The one with the sheet and the one with the bush all kind of had the same body. So this is one Michael that's different from the others, not only because he has the railing, not only because he has Bob's sheet and the glasses, but being that this Michael Myers does also have for the first time a bent arm. As for, of course, the head sculpt, I think this is one that's probably the closest to the one with the bush. I'm going to bring back in the bush so you guys can see. The thing that was notable about this one is that the head seems a little bit longer. I'm going to put the one right here with the bush. Let's grab the one with the sheet here. If you were to compare the two, am I the only one that sees that maybe the one behind the sheet, I mentioned this earlier when we looked at the review of Hit, you can see that it looks like it's a little bit more of a shorter head and it's a little wider. So it doesn't look like they're using the molds again and again and again. Now, obviously, again, like this one had the straight arms, this one now has the bent arms. I think the paint on all of them is really good. Let's just actually move this one right out of the way for right now. I'll bring him back in a second. You can still see eyes, but the eyes are a little harder to see just because they're a little higher up in the sockets of the mask. Of course, you got yourself the little darker colors that they've added there as well. It catches just the right amount of light. You can see it just reflects off those eyeballs just really nicely. It's there, but it's not there like front and center. Of course, the eyebrows are there as well, painted not in the same color of gray, but a slightly darker shade of that. You got the torn off sideburns there on the side. The combed back hair with the notable little horn, the little devil horns there on the sides of his mask. People always trying to really replicate that when they design their own masks and 6-scale figure head sculpts. Now, Michael Myers had, of course, the wrapping of the plastic just to protect his head from bobbling around inside the packaging. The head, if you were to look inside of this, has the spring. So the spring is just at the top of the neck, and that connects to the inside of the head. So that's the thing that really does all the bobbling. This would be one of those things that you'd really want to keep on the shelf pristine like this. Don't be one of those people that likes to have your bobbleheads inside of cars. This one being resin, it's going to break right away. The blade would be something that I would think be the first thing that would break, just because, again, that's the furthest thing away from Michael's body. But again, like the head sculpt looks really good. It's not really that much different from the Bush release, and I don't think it necessarily needs to be either. Really, Royal Bobbles could easily have just re-released the same head with all the 3 releases, and just changed, of course, the body. This body at least is different than the other 2 that we've already had a look at. The blood is really about the same, like so. Again, we're going to bring back in the Bush release. Yeah, I would say like the blood is about the same. Maybe this one's a little bit further up the blade, but again, like I would imagine that wouldn't be the same with every single Michael Myers. The one I have right now may have a different placement of blood than the one that you're getting, because I would imagine that they're probably going in there, and the talented artists are all very meticulously splattering the blood. How do you meticulously splatter blood? Sort of have to just kind of put it on there and just, do you take a straw and like blow the blood up the blade? Nice looking blood, though. They definitely know the color of blood. It doesn't look like a really bright red in some of the Giallo movies that I've been watching as of late. All in all, though, it's a really nice looking Michael Myers. Some would prefer maybe this version of Michael over the other 2, just because, again, he's doing a little bit more and near more the finale of the film when he's chasing Laurie. Or again, if you'd like to have Michael a little bit earlier into the movie with, of course, the Bush, with the sheet, all nice releases from the folks over at Royal Bobbles. Very much, again, like a higher premium piece. So because of that, the figures or the baubles themselves are a little more into that $32 to $35 price, depending on where you're finding. But I still feel like for a $32 bobblehead, Royal Bobbles is some of the best, producing some of the best Royal Bobbles around. If you're a big fan of Michael Myers, whether it be just during the Hallows season or you just like to have your Halloween Michael Myers collectibles out all year round, definitely would want to be picking up these ones, if not for the other 2 that we've already had a look at. The one we looked at in this review with him standing behind the railing. One good thing is if you're looking to get your hands on this version of Michael Myers, you don't have to go to the Mackenzies. As far as I know, Mackenzies aren't even making bobbleheads anymore, but Royal Bobbles are. It's pretty easy to come by, too. Many of the sites that I've seen listings of this Michael Myers with the railing have the price anywhere from $31.95 to around $34. Royal Bobbles, in fact, has their own store site, and he was selling there for $31.95. And as of right now, at least at the time of shooting this video, he's still available. A big thank you once again to the folks over at Royal Bobbles that did provide this sample of Michael Myers with railing and bob sheet. See anything you like? I see a whole lot of things I like from the folks over at Royal Bobbles. What do you guys think of this one? Let me know down below in the comment section. Of the 3 now that we've looked at of Michael Myers, which one would you say is your favorite? The one with the railing, the one with the bush, the one with the sheet? In all 3 cases, Michael Myers still has a hard time of hiding. Seeking is fine and good, but hiding, it seems to be one of his hardest things. If you guys did enjoy this video, do it a solid, throw it a like. You guys want to stick around for more? So I hope so. Even though I know we are kind of getting near the end of Spottober, I hope you guys have been enjoying this as much as I've been enjoying doing these reviews for you guys. But as we're kind of getting near the end of the Hallows season, there are still going to be some spooky treats coming your way. So I hope you're coming back to this channel with ghoulish peepers peeled. Ooh! As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.